Hi guys, Mark here, welcome to Friendship Shaving. Thanks for joining me. I hope you've had a good week so far. Now I wanted to talk to you this week about TOBS, Taylor of Old Bond Street Herbal Aromatics Shaving Cream. I used some in the week and I've had a reaction to it. I've done a little bit of online research and I wanted to reach out and give you a little bit of information about the chemical compounds that are in the shaving cream. So for that reason, the soap that I'm going to be using for my shave today, I'm just going to keep secret. I don't want there to be any inference between the chemicals I'm describing and the problems I had and the soap I'm using today. The razor I'm going to be using is my black short-handled Weishi razor. I needed to use a mild razor tonight, and I'm going to use that with a Teflon blade, and I'm going to be using my rubber set 203 with my tuxedo knot, which I haven't used for a little while. I've been neglecting it, I must admit. So let me just put the razor blade in the razor and we'll get started. Now I must admit I was quite excited to receive some TOBS shaving cream. Looked on their website and I thought it would be right up my street when I discovered that Jermaine Taylor opened up his salon in September 1854 and was renowned for using botanicals in his soap. Now, any of you that have watched any of my previous videos will know that I love a bit of history. I love it when you get an old manufacturer that's handed down through the family and they're still in business today. Now the soap I got is in this little pot, which is a sample, and it smells beautiful. It's a fresh fougere called Mr. Taylor's. Was made, or the scent rather, was developed in the 1950s as a nod to their previous history. I was rather disappointed to use it, I must say. I have been experimenting a little bit and thinking about pre-shaves. So what I did when I used this was I wet my face and I rubbed a little bit of cream in and left it for a couple of minutes, just to see if that would make, a visible difference to my shave. Of course then I just lathered up as normal. Now before I tell you any more, I must point out that I don't wish to be the harbinger of doom, and I am aware that there are lots of people out there that use TOBS products with no problems whatsoever. And I also feel that I should point out that I'm not a scientist, I'm not a chemist, and I'm not a soap maker. In fact, my knowledge of soap making really is rather scant. All I know is that you take an alkaline, sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide, and you mix that with some oils. The alkaline reacts with the fatty acids in the oils, and the process of saponification turns that into soap. That is all I know, gents. That's the depth of my knowledge right there. But what happened with the TOBS was that I put it on and started to shave, and it was all okay. But when I got to the end of the first pass, my folliculitis that I've been suffering with just erupted out of nowhere, and it was really bad. I continued for a second pass, and by the time I finished the second pass, I had a rash all over my face, really quite a bad rash. I cleaned up and felt the need really to get that cream off my face. So I rinsed my face a lot with warm water to make sure it was off. Now over the next hour or so, my face burned really badly. It was pretty uncomfortable, to be honest. It was just burning, and for the rest of the night and all of today, my face has been sore. It feels like I've got really bad sunburn. And just to clarify, it's not razor burn or anything like that. It was definitely a reaction to the TOBS soap. So I looked into it a bit more. I mentioned it on the Friendship Shaving Facebook group, and Simon said straight away, oh, I think it's because of the scent compounds that they use. Russell, an artisan soap maker, said that he'd heard of the issue before, and James from OAP wrote in that it was because of the chemicals. So I looked it up, and apparently it's not an unusual problem to have with TOBS soap. Oh, do you know what? This is a nice brush. I have neglected this brush. So did you know, for example, where you might be surprised to learn that there are food colourings in TOBS soaps? I mean, this may be the case for other soaps as well, but I've only looked at TOBS. Now, the ingredients that I'm talking about here are listed right now on the TOBS website for the Mr. Taylor's shaving soap. And I think that they are, well, you may say, okay, what's the big deal? You know, food colourings in soap, you know, they're safe, aren't they? Well, for the most part, they probably are. But in this soap, there's one called Tartrazine. It is renowned for causing allergic reactions, particularly in people that are already allergic to aspirin or ibuprofen. That would be me. Now, people know that Tartrazine causes this, so you know they've hidden that from you. It also goes by the name of acid yellow, but that's not a very nice name either, is it, to put on the ingredients list for the soap? So the food colouring is listed on the TOBS soap as, and I'm reading this off, CI19140. Actually, I think it's 410. But, you know, they've listed it in a way that it seems, you know, really inoffensive, and you just think, oh. Because we don't know what that is, but most of us have actually heard of Tartrazine. So that's the first thing. You know, I know there are lots of artisan soap makers that don't put food colouring in their soaps. They don't put Tartrazine in. So the next thing on the list of ingredients to mention, and I've got to read this because it's a mouthful, it's methylchloroisothiazolinones, known as MIT or MI. Excuse me while I get started. Now this product is a synthetic biocide and fungicide. It's really powerful. It's listed as a cytotoxic, and if you don't know what that means is, it's toxic to cells of the human body. An example of a cytotoxin is snake venom. It kills the cells in the bodies at a certain level. Now this is used in hull paint on a boat. And the reason it's used in hull paint is because it's toxic to sea life. so it keeps your boat clean from barnacles and whatever else you might get on there. It's also used in metalwork and mining, and is reported by an EU Commission as a contact sensitising agent. Now I'm just wondering why that is in the soap that I'm putting on my face. You know, surely something that's used in industrial processes that is listed as a cytotoxin should not be anywhere near anybody's face. As I say, I'm not a chemist, and I can only go by the information that I've found by looking on the internet. You know, it's not exactly, what would you call it, correct research practice, but that's all I've got. So now another product in TOBS soap is something called triethanolamine, and that's a surfactant. So what that does, in case you don't know, it holds together the water with the oils in the soap so that it becomes a bound product. Now this is made by mixing ethyl oxide and ammonia, I think. Allergic reactions are common for this stuff, and it smells faintly of ammonia, and they use other scents to mask that smell. It is thick or solid at room temperature. Which of course makes it good to use in a cream or a soap. But I'll just re-emphasise that allergic reactions are common with this product. So again, why is that in my soap? You know, there are artisan soap makers that do not use that product in anything they make, and they produce brilliant soaps. Next one, you ready? There's a list of them. Now these following ones are all the scent compounds that they use. So the first one is alpha-iasomethyl ionone. It's a fragrance, and it's used in a lot of bubble baths, hand creams, hand soaps, liquid soaps, those sorts of things. It's all over. Now in the US, the IFRA, which I believe is their sort of governing body for things like this, have banned this banned this item in fragrance products. So in aftershaves and colognes, it's not allowed to put it in. But of course, soap isn't counted as a fragrance product. Now it's difficult. I mean, I just picked up that was banned in the US. I couldn't find the ruling for over here, which is set by the EU. But nevertheless, it's well known to irritate the skin and trigger allergic reactions. So that's another one. You know, that's another item. The first scent product irritates the skin and triggers allergic reactions. That last one, by the way, the triethanolamine, the surfactant with the ammonia, burning is very common with that. But back to the scent. So that's that one. Okay, now we've got another one. Hexyl cinnamal, or hexyl cinnamaldehyde. So hexyl cinnamaldehyde. This is a fragrance that's restricted in the EU. I should rephrase that. It's a compound that's restricted in fragrance products in the EU. So they get around that, I think, by putting it in soaps. It's derived from chamomile oil. So in a way it's entirely natural. But then so is hemlock and deadly nightshade, you know, they're organic and natural. But this is another product that is associated with allergic reactions. Now the video may have jumped then because I just got a message through, so we'll have to see what that comes out like. Okay, we've got another one. Are you ready for the next one? Butylphenyl methylpropinal, otherwise known as Lilial. Lots of these compounds are clear liquids. Oops. But this one apparently has a floral scent and is associated with allergies and contact dermatitis. In other words, it causes an immediate rash on contact with your skin. It's a known skin irritant and it's in top shaving cream. Now, I mean, that's bad, isn't it? That 3 out of 5 of the scent compounds that TOBS use are known irritants. And they certainly irritated me. So I hope that you'll find the information in this week's shave useful. I know it's not my normal sort of, not my normal shave, but I had such a bad reaction. And if you look online and type in Taylor of Old Bond Street burning sensation or Taylor of Old Bond Street skin irritation or allergic reaction, it's quite common, it seems. There are people out there that use this soap that are allergic to it. And, you know, I suppose the counterpoint to that is, as I've said, there are lots of people that use it that have no problem at all. But for me, I won't be using it ever again. There are plenty of good soaps out there without mucking around with something that makes my skin burn and makes me come out in a terrible rash. Why would you, honestly? So really, gents, that's my shave today. I'm just going to keep it simple, and that was why I had such irritation and soreness. That was why I wanted a really mild razor today. And the Weishi short-handled razor, I think this is a great razor actually. I know a lot of people don't think much of the Weishi razors or Weishi razors, but do you know, I like mine. I think it's alright. So I'm going to put on some witch hazel. I'd be interested to know if you have either heard or experienced irritation with Taylor of Bond Street soaps. I'm so disappointed. I had a whole different shave worked out around this product with a bit of history. The smell is phenomenal. The scent is phenomenal. But when you read all that stuff that makes up that scent, it's put me right off. It's put me right off. So I will be keeping an eye out in future for soaps with those products in it. And I won't buy them. Simple as that. Now I'm going to use my Nivea for men sensitive. I'm just keeping it simple tonight. And I'm going to be giving my face a rest for a week. I'm going to let this irritation die down, let my skin recover. Hopefully my folliculitis will ease back again. Because it was horrific last night, and the itching. Oh, the itching. I was like this. Oh. Oh, there we go. That feels beautiful when you put it on. Now, do you know, I just went, I don't know if you noticed, but I went with the grain tonight. 2 passes with the grain. Do you know, that's a perfectly reasonable shave. It's not super smooth if I run my hand against the grain, but do you know what? I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. So gents, let me know if you've had any allergic reactions to soaps or products, but particularly with regard to TOBS. And I hope you've had a better week than I have, and continue to have some happy shaves with better experiences than I had. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. All the best to you now. Bye bye.